Okay.
Lucy, I'm going to be jumping off by 1:30. I've got another Zoom I've got to jump
Right. Challenge
to.
on. Yeah, no, that's good. My aim is to try and keep these within 30 minutes. Because yeah, I think we can achieve a lot in 30 minutes. And everyone is busy, busy, busy these days. So let me. You cannot minimize workspace while you're recording the meeting. Ah, okay. Okay. Can everyone see me? Okay. Yeah, wicked. Okay, cool. Bear with. Zoom's giving me technical issues. Okay, right. So, yeah, firstly, it's really great to see you all this evening. Thank you for being here on this wintry Monday evening. We are definitely heading into the winter. Temperature have dropped outside for sure. But yeah, no, welcome for being here. And tonight's session is all going to be hopefully helping you to overcome the feelings of imposter syndrome, the gremlins, the self-limiting thoughts, self-sabotaging thoughts that we can all get time to time. And hopefully, I'm going to just come up with some practical strategies, if you like, that are just going to help you to overcome those when they come thick and fast. So just letting Paul in the house. Evening, Paul. So things first. I mean, anyone that caught my live this morning in the community will have probably have heard this, but a little bit of a relatable story, really. I mean, I'm talking about imposter syndrome this evening. I am somebody that definitely suffers with it, so I'd be lying if I said that I didn't. I absolutely do. But thankfully, over the last couple of years, since kind of jumping into the world of property development, self-development, personal development, business growth, I have learned to, take on board some coping strategies to try and overcome that and to channel those, self-limiting negative thoughts that we can all get and channel them into positive actions, positive thoughts, realities, and perception. So this week I've got a talk in Birmingham, which I'm definitely feeling a little bit of pressure. It's a fairly new talk that I'm going to be delivering, so with that comes a little bit of pressure to deliver. And it's a little bit of a bigger audience than I've probably delivered to over the last 12 or so months. So there's lots of people there that I really respect. There's a lot of people in the industry. I don't want to be a fool. I don't want to forget my words on stage, and there's all that stuff. So naturally, those feelings of, oh God, I'm going to mess it up, and people are going to think I'm a tool. Am I going to come across the way I want to come across? All of those things that is just natural. It's just part of the process. And it's something that we all experience in some degree, depending, especially if we've got challenges going on in our lives as well. If we've got a lot of pressures already going on in the background, and those gremlins can just become louder and louder and can potentially hold us back from achieving and fulfilling our full potential. So the mission of today's session is that my mission to you is that by the end of this session, you're going to feel more energized, more motivated, and more confident, and to be able to hopefully face that self-doubt head on. And I'm going to go through a little bit of a few little strategies in order to help with that. So yeah, imposter syndrome, it's more common than you think. And I would say actually more people than you think do suffer with it. Even those people that we consider to be super successful. And there's a couple of, I was kind of researching for tonight and having a look at this. There's lots of famous people that have had quite open battles and struggles with imposter syndrome. There's a famous author called Maya Angelou, who you may or may not have come across. She's written 11 books. She's a really successful author, and she's also the creator of one of my favourite quotes, which goes along the lines of, they won't remember what you said, they won't remember what you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. So that's, I think, again, is a really apt kind of quote as well that fits in quite nicely with the way that the flavour of this session is going to go. But she was quite openly said that she had a big, big struggles with imposter syndrome despite being super successful. And that she said every time she wrote a new book and she had a new book coming out, she'd be like, oh shit, like, they're going to find out, they're going to discover that I'm a fraud, and I've run a game on everybody. So even the likes of Meryl Streep, who I'm a massive fan of again, and Kate Winslet, both, highly regarded, well-renowned actors, who have, between them, got bagged loads and loads of Academy Awards, have both questioned their ability to act, to perform before getting on stage. So, it is something that everybody suffers with across all different levels. And sometimes it's also worth remembering that when you're going through those feelings and when you're experiencing them yourself. And if you ever have felt that way, then it's remembering that. So imposter syndrome, it doesn't define your ability. It is a shared human experience that we all experience together, and it's just a feeling. It's not a fact. And again, we're just going to go a little bit more into that as we go through. And the reality is that self-doubt is a part of the human experience. Even the most successful people suffer with it. It's totally normal, and it actually reminds us that we are human. That we're human beings. We have emotions. We're sensitive in certain areas, and we are human. We're not robots. So just something to kind of take hold of and just remember. So what I want to do is a couple of little kind of takeaways, practical strategies that are hopefully going to help, and going to try and get a little bit of engagement going as well as we go through. So the first kind of takeaway, and a little bit of a quick win, if you like, is the ability to shift self-doubt into confidence. So a little bit of a mindset reframing exercise, if you like. So I want you to think of a recent situation, and if you feel comfortable, just like close your eyes, just relax for a second. We're not going to go like deep, meditation or anything like that. But sometimes it just kind of helps to just kind of try and shut out all the rest of the noise around us, so we can just focus and we can just be present on, our thoughts. So I want you to think of a recent situation where you've felt self doubt, where you've felt those gremlins kind of whispering in your ear. And I want you to try and reframe that internal dialogue, your internal voice. And I want you to replace those words of doubt with positive affirmations. So, for example, instead of thinking, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I want you to think in your mind and even say out loud if it helps, I am more than capable and I am learning as I go. Because that's, one of the things that I think we can tend to forget is that no one's got it figured out. No one's perfect. Even if we, the natural kind of one of the entrepreneurial kind of flaws probably is seeking perfection in everything that we do, and always wanting to be perfect before we take the next step, or being afraid that we are not projecting ourselves in the best way that we possibly can in whatever situation that is. So a simple framing exercise just to start with, just to get things moving, is reframing those negative kind of connotations, those negative thoughts, and replacing them with a positive affirmation. And if you guys practice affirmations in the mornings or the evenings or anything like that, then it's kind of that whole journey of self-development and personal growth is a journey. And just like when we train our muscles in the gym, it's all about the reps, it's all about getting the reps in. It's the same when it comes to, our mindset. Um, we've got to give it the reps, we've got to give it the positive affirmations, we've got to tell it the positive stuff, we've got to focus on channeling the negative into the positive, and we have to actively do that. So if this is making sense so far, I just want to check in, then just let me know. I can get a thumbs up, or we can, again, just to encourage a little bit of engagement in the chat. If there's anything that's particularly resonating with what you're saying, or if there's any thoughts that instantly came to mind when you started to think about those feelings, those thoughts of self-doubt that you can sometimes come across, that sometimes penetrate into your mind. And feel free to share any of that in the comments, because actually what it does in this intimate, safe place, it's more than likely that other people have also experienced exactly the same thoughts and are also going through the exact same experiences of self-doubt, imposter syndrome, feeling that they're not worthy. So yeah, please feel free, guys, to share as you want to. And again, if anyone feels like in these sessions that they want to unmute and they want to share, then that's all cool too. Please feel free to do that. Okay, so key takeaway number 2, and again, something kind of practical that we can try and apply here, is using doubt as fuel for growth. So using doubt as a growth signal. So self-doubt and fear often appear right before significant periods of growth. So like we said before, when you're feeling stretched, when you're kind of stepping outside the comfort zone, where you've got a lot of stuff going on, those moments of growth are often plagued with feelings of these negative self-limiting thoughts and beliefs that can suffocate us and stop us from actually taking those steps forward. So why not, when we get that kind of signal, when we get that cue, why don't we use it as a signal and a cue that we are actually pursuing our goals, our vision, we're experiencing new challenges, and most importantly, that actually these feelings and experiences that we are having to deal with, those little voices that are coming in our head, it's just a cue, it's just a signal to let us know that we are extending our comfort zone, we are actually pushing out, because we're in a period of growth. So again, it's a little tiny mindset shift that, okay, I'm feeling these feelings, but that's because I'm pushing myself. That's because I've set a big vision and I've got some big freaking goals that I am going to be walking over hot coals to achieve. So these feelings that I'm feeling right now are part of that game. And that's part of that entrepreneurial game, the business owner game. I'm leveling up, I'm upskilling, I'm taking on a new business venture, I'm taking on a new partnership, whatever that may be. And actually, I'm becoming the person that I want to become. I'm becoming the best possible version I can and the person that I seek to be. So I want you to try right now. And again, maybe close your eyes if it just allows you to just kind of like center and just refocus. And I want you to reflect on one goal that you have avoided, or maybe you are currently avoiding it due to self-doubt. And if something comes to mind straight away, feel free to share it, put it out there, say it out loud. What is one goal right now? It could be, putting an offer in on a deal, you doubt in the numbers. It could be, wanting to stand up and pitch your services in a networking gig. It could be actually, you want to increase your visibility and your profile. You want to increase opportunities and leads that are going to come to you. So with that you need to start putting yourself out on social media, or maybe there's a talk that you want to, that you'd love to put together to go and get your message out there. Whatever that one goal is at the minute that you are actively avoiding. And again, sometimes it's like that honesty and that self-reflection, that self-awareness. And yeah, it's all part of this journey of this ever consistent journey of growth that we're on. And the main thing is being honest with ourselves and being able to recognize that. So yeah, one goal that you are currently avoiding due to self-doubt, that you can't achieve it. And again, if anyone is feeling like they want to share, I would love to get at least one share. Yes, John. John's in the house.
Right. It's sort of what you're saying. It's not so much I'm trying to put it off, but I'm in a minute this week trying to finish a house for service accommodation as a holiday let and get a HMO purchase over the line. And I just don't know where to start because I take on the bulk of the work for my partners as well. So I'm probably doing things like coming on this Zoom call to avoid getting tucked into some of the some of the legals that I've got to read. I've got to read I don't know how many emails of the boring conveyancing stuff because I know that my partners won't do it. I just just can't get myself around to do it. Does that help? Is that an example?
Is relevant. And it sounds like experiencing maybe a little bit of just overwhelm with the sheer volume of stuff that you've got to try and move across the line, move the needle on. And within that, those, I guess, like the self-limiting kind of thoughts, then they're all there in some way, shape, or form that are stopping us to do what we need to do. And sometimes it doesn't always necessarily show itself in an obvious way. And again, it's like sometimes it's taking the time to actually just dig down into the reasons that you are avoiding it. And sometimes it's sometimes something else is more attractive and it's a path of least resistance. And actually I would say, if you are, probably slightly digress here, but sometimes if we are feeling like that, actually the fact that you're still doing something that's like kind of contributing to your overall growth and direction of travel of what you're trying to achieve is definitely better than just sacking it all off and just kind of sitting and putting Netflix on.
I
So
haven't watched telly for ages. I was with my mate last night. He said talking about have you watched this? No, I haven't watched telly for ages. Quite enjoyed telly, but so I'm not sacking stuff off for Netflix.
I guess what I would then kind of say, like to come back at that potential goal that you are avoiding doing right now, how could you perhaps turn that kind of limiting kind of mindset into pushing that forward? How could you maybe turn that into motivation, or better still, an opportunity?
I don't know. I suppose I think just with this stuff this week, both are ultra priorities. I've just taken on somebody to help me out, and they're only available tomorrow, so I've got to get them working on one of these projects tomorrow, which has put me off doing the other one. So I don't know how I can turn around to make it more. I was going to sit on there on these Zoom calls tonight and start reading them, but I've got engaged in it, so I haven't opened the email yet. Maybe that's another thing I'm doing, getting engaged instead of trying to do the work I've got to do.
I mean, it sounds to me like you've even like already started to recognize that you need help in order to try and move it forward, because maybe you feel like for whatever reason, whether it's a capacity thing, whether it's a skill thing, whether it's a confidence thing, and like there's a lot of responsibility there on your shoulders. And actually sometimes that can just like the self-doubt can naturally creep in when we feel like when like you feel like the pressure is all on you. And again, that's definitely a natural byproduct of that. So it sounds like already, recognizing that, you need to leverage other people to help you, take on the workload, and maybe also even just kind of confirmation that you are doing what you need to do and you're moving things from A to B. Um, so yeah, no, thank you.
Right. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Did anyone else want to share? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay,
I
cool.
was just going to say that I was laughing, Lucy, when you said those three things. I think you said because they were me, every single one. Put myself out there, social media, public speaking, even now, not don't really want to talk. Sorry, everybody.
You
Well, I thought I should really.
and that like that makes my heart sing when I hear that, when somebody feels the fear.
But does it anyway?
And
Mm.
I love that, because actually, even just kind of in this environment, taking an opportunity to speak, can be a really, really daunting task for some people. Not everybody. We've all got different kind of skill sets, natural skill sets that we can lean into, and then naturally avoid the ones that we don't necessarily feel as comfortable with. Um, but yeah, I mean, same back to you, Claire, in terms of how can you kind of flip that into, you know, motivation and an opportunity?
How can I flip it into motivation? Well, that is why I'm doing the one-to-one with you. That I think I mean, I have put myself out there, but it's never felt, and I've spoken publicly and I've pitched, but it's never felt right. It's never felt true. So that is why I think once I get on my right path, then I'll feel much more, less of an imposter and more like I know what I'm talking about when I do stand up to talk. But I don't know in terms of how to change it into motivation yet. Tell me the answer and I'll try.
How do you feel that you're speaking in this environment? How does it make you feel?
Well, my heart's thumping. Other than that, yeah, I don't particularly enjoy it. And there's only one, two, three, nine people. So,
It's actually quite a lot of people. And actually, just like the bravery that the courage that you're demonstrating right now is like really inspiring. And I know that there'll be other people on this call now, like really inspired by what you've just shared. So I would use that as my fuel to motivate me to be
hmm, that's good. Yeah, maybe. Okay. I'll try. Yeah, I'll try.
wicked. I love that. I love that. Right. Okay. So let's have a look then at key takeaway number three. Then, and this is all going to be about escaping the comparison trap in order to embrace your unique path. So, when I say the comparison trap, this essentially describes the idea of how we are constantly comparing ourselves to others, and how this only acts to fuel that imposter syndrome. And you've probably, you like, it's a fact, we live in a super, super digitally driven world. It's like crazy. And there's this, I don't know if you've heard of the term, but Instagram reel of life, where, everyone's like posting all the good stuff, all the big wins, all the big achievements, the holidays 6 times a year, the six pack, like all of the real, all of the tip of the iceberg stuff. But, the reality is that most of that is BS. Like, that is the reality. And that, everyone starts off at a different point in their journey. right? Everyone's at a different point in their journey, and the Instagram reel of life is mostly BS anyway, because it's not the reality. And so, you know, the danger of kind of being influenced by that is that you think that that's the normal, when actually we all know, if you know, if we really think about it, that that isn't the normal. And you know, that you can see how that can really kind of fuel those negative feelings that we don't feel like we're living up to it, we don't feel like we're enough, we don't feel like we're achieving enough. And you know, it's easy to see how that can get out of hand very, very quickly. So I want you to just I want you to just close your eyes for a second. So just take a second, just to be present, just to recenter. You try and just let the guardrails down a little bit, let the barriers down. You know, just be present. Just focus on your breathing for a second. Just, you know, big deep breath in and out. You know, try and take away any resistance that's coming in your mind. And I just want you to take a second and think about your journey and a unique strength that you possess. And I want you to now consider how, by embracing that strength, you can build your own unique entrepreneurial vision. So this is about owning our own strengths, our own unique strengths, our USP, a unique selling point, and really kind of focusing on, you know, how you can embrace that strength and how that can be your differentiator when you're maybe putting yourself out there. Maybe you're, you know, making new connections at a networking gig, or you're, you know, meeting parts of your extended power team for the first time, or you're, you know, you're creating new opportunities. Maybe new investors are coming in to invest into your business. Maybe it's new clients coming into your world, whatever that may be. And I just want you to think about a unique strength. And I want everyone to just pop it it could just be one word. I want you to pop it into the chat. And it doesn't, and when I say unique strength, it doesn't have to be something that no one's ever heard of before. So it doesn't, you know, just something that comes to mind that makes you, that's a strength that you possess. And this is going to be your USP. John, hey John, visionary. Yeah, I love that. Or persistence, positivity, heart-led, perseverance. I love that. Discipline. Yeah, great shares, guys, great shares. And I want you to, John, good with people, yeah. People-centric, people-focused, like business is all about people. That's something that's really, really come to the forefront for me for the last couple of years, for sure.
I didn't know how to put that in one word.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, that's yeah, great shares, guys. Thank you. Okay, so this is about embracing your strengths, embracing your USPs, and remembering that, you know, you are on your own unique journey. And like I said, it's easy to compare ourselves to something, but more often than not, we're comparing ourselves to something that doesn't exist in the first place. It's not real, so it's almost like an unfair, like disproportionate, set point that we're trying to kind of get to that doesn't even exist anyway. So yeah, this is really about owning your strengths, remembering that you're on your own journey, and let's be real, you know, we can often overestimate, you know, what we can achieve in a year, but we can massively underestimate what we can achieve in 5 years. So, this is about massively owning also how far you've come. When we look back over the last like years, 2, 3, 4, going back in your journey, wherever your journey has brought you from, and reminding yourself, every time you start to drift back into, periods of self-sabotage, um, actually how far you've come, because it's too easy to just forget that and to take it for granted. And is this making sense so far? Cool. Is this resonating? Good. So a few little, again, practical tools, I guess, that hopefully are gonna help you, with this topic moving forward on a day-to-day basis. So firstly, daily affirmations. So this can be a super positive practice, just simply writing a set of positive affirmations, sayings, one line, something that kind of just lifts you up, in any way that resonates with you. It could just be a word. It could be a couple of really positive words that just trigger you and put you in a positive mindset, and placing them on your mirror, or in a setting like on your wallpaper on your phone. That's going to, reinforce confidence, like, on a regular daily basis. And especially when you're, feeling periods of kind of, being maybe, kind of challenged and, kind of doubting yourself, going into those spaces, which, yeah, again, it's a never ending journey. We're not necessarily just going to be, okay, I'm going to tell myself to do something, and the next day it's, I'm not going to feel these feelings, because that's not part of the game. That's not the reality. We are human beings. We are going to feel these feelings. They're going to be penetrating through. They're going to come in at us, kind of, especially during times of challenge, more often than not. And, we can choose to allow them to come in, and we can see them coming in, and we can consciously decide to let them pass us by. So remembering that our thoughts are not our reality. We can change, we can alter, and our actions are our reality. Our actions are our perception. So the thoughts are going to come in, come what may, they're going to come. But it's recognizing when they come in that we have the strength to let them pass us by. Accountability partner. So this is another kind of little tool. Finding a peer, finding a mentor, whoever that may be, a family member, someone that you can trust, somebody that you can kind of go to for that mutual support. Someone that you can reach out to when that self-sabotage and that self-doubt starts to increase or starts to rise. And then lastly, a growth journal. I don't know if anyone here journals. Does anyone here journal at the minute? Diana does. Yeah, okay. So again, this, for those that don't, I'm sure that Diana will, agree with me on this, that, it's a great way to start tracking your progress and your reflections on, your achievements, that you've accomplished, the successes that you've had, maybe the challenges that you've been through, but taking that time to just sit down, be present, get those thoughts down onto paper, which in itself is going to like foster and fuel that intrinsic motivation and momentum to keep us going through the more difficult, challenging times. Which, let's face it, in business, in property and development, whatever your kind of niche is, it's going to be a regular occurrence. So I guess really just to bring it in, how are we doing for time? Is that imposter syndrome is a universal human experience. It's something that we all experience, and it just reminds you that you're not a robot. This is not a reflection of your abilities, or more importantly, your reality. So I think I'll probably, looking at time, unless anyone wants to share or add anything, then again, I'm here. I'm here for you guys. So let's have a little look at the explains the details. What was that in relation to, Claire? I'm going to get you to speak again.
I was just saying that is my, what, I can't remember what it was. Uh, Strength, was it? I'm someone who, well, I'm a details person. Don't you know it, Lucy?
Cool. Okay, so a few little kind of quick strategies, reframing exercises that are hopefully going to help in the long term. Because like anything, it's something. If we're again trying to build strength, or we're trying to kind of drop a little bit of maybe a little bit of weight before Christmas, whatever it is. It's an ongoing kind of journey that we need to be committed to, like anything. And you're all here this evening, so you clearly are committed to personal growth, self development, and recognise the benefits of that. So yeah, what I would say is if anything has resonated with you this evening, then I would be more than happy to have a chat with you on completion if you wanted to dive in a little bit more into imposter syndrome, into any of the mindset kind of hacks that we've gone into this evening. These calls are going to be fortnightly. So again, if there's particular topics that you'd like me to kind of speak about, to go over, to bring to the table, then please do let me know. But yeah, like I said, if anyone does want to reach out, I'm more than happy for anyone that's on this call right now to go through, a one-to-one call with you. I can help you to define your mission, your purpose. We can look to help you if executing your plan at the minute isn't quite going to plan, shall we say, and you need a little bit of help with that. We can have a look at mapping stuff out. And then, I guess really what kind of tonight was centered around is that resilience, building up our resilient shield, our energy resilient shield, becoming bulletproof. And again, that's something that I'm very, very passionate about. So if anyone wants to chat about that, then just contact me, or you can just write energy into the chat box and I can get hold of you on completion. So has anybody got any questions on anything this evening? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I was going to say, Lucy, you're right. I mean, with regards to obviously the imposter side of things, I had it recently and it kind of only just struck me with regards to the fact I was on the property course, seminar, and basically they put me in like this, they do 3 different tiers and I'm in this top tier, this first class tier of a business turning over 100,000 on property that, but everybody was obviously asking me questions at the course and everything. But you feel this imposter thing because there's a big turnover there, over 300,000. But when you come back to it and the reality of it, and you're looking at it, and you think, well, I'm having all these struggles and so forth. The bank balance isn't looking as it is. That's when I start to feel, am I that imposter or?
And that's the thing is as we continue to level up our skill sets, our business ventures, and we take more things off, then take things on, then we then our kind of self-awareness of where we think we should be, and how we perceive people judge us and look at us, and you're thinking, oh, they're looking to me and I should be a certain way. But more often than not, that's your perception of what you think people, but actually most people are thinking like, I would love to have his problems, like, and that's something that we forget sometimes, isn't it? Like the problems that we're going through today in our businesses, and mostly in our businesses, and it's like, well, 5 years ago, would you have welcomed the problems that you're facing today? In your property business. And as we know, there's peaks, there's troughs, there's challenges, and you're absolutely kind of, the resilience that you've shown over the last couple of years, Paul, has been really, really admirable, and you've inspired a lot of people. So actually, where you think, the people maybe don't realize, or maybe you're not kind of forthcoming with some of the realities that are going on in the business, but actually they probably would be more inspired by that and would be more impressed with actually what you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, because you've got a 100 grand a year business that you're running at the minute, and with that comes the 100 grand business problems. That it's that kind of next step up to the next set of problems that you're about to face. So I think we're always going to feel that, because I think it's just naturally within us as entrepreneurs, as business owners. We are naturally high achievers, and we want to deliver. We want to be the best that we can be, and then we're never really going to feel like we're
that. Thanks for that. I wouldn't mind £1 million problems, to be honest, at this point.
Share them out when you get there. Cheers, Paul. Any more questions? Any more? Wicked, guys. Right, I'll leave it there then. I'll stick the recording in the group if anyone wants to kind of read back over anything. I think a transcript will come with it if there's any bits and pieces that you wanted to take down. Again, like I said, if anyone wants to reach out, just DM me, reach out, and always happy to jump on a call. And enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. I hope that was helpful. Some simple reframing exercises that can be super, super powerful. But it's the journey that we're all on. It's the people that we are aspiring to become, and it's one step at a time, inch by inch, step by step. And don't be quiet. Don't suffer in silence. If you are suffering with this stuff, then reach out. Again, use the community for support. Hit me up in the DMs. Always there for anyone in the community. Have a great evening, guys. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lucy.
Cheers, John. Have a good one.
See you soon.